Oil rises as markets await Russia's next supply cut, and the UAE economy forecast to grow 3.5% this year. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. Oil is headed for its biggest weekly gain since April today, up 5% this week, and with West Texas pushing towards $84 a barrel this morning. The latest rise comes as Russia signaled it will reduce oil exports again and will announce the new main parameters next week. Russia has been cutting output and exports in tandem with Saudi on top of existing OPEC plus reductions. So the move from Moscow indicates both nations may extend those voluntary cuts into October. OPEC plus, led by Russia, began limiting supplies in late 2022 to bolster the market, and in June extended supply curbs into 2024. UBS forecasts the UAE's GDP to grow by 3.5% this year and 3.9% in 2024. UBS says the UAE's medium-term growth prospects are supported by high demand for its oil exports and energy investments, while expecting a strong 4.5% expansion for the non-energy part of the economy this year. The introduction of a 9% corporate tax this year will also bolster public finances. And UBS says relying more on renewable energy domestically will free up more hydrocarbons for export markets. Qatar has posted a Q2 budget surplus of $2.75 billion, despite declining revenue and rising expenditure. Qatar's Q2 revenue dropped to $18.8 billion, marking a 20.2% year-on-year decline. Oil and gas revenues accounted for $11.1 billion in Q2, a 30.9% drop in comparison to the same period last year. The fall was driven by lower oil prices that dropped by 30.5% year-on-year. Qatar's Q2 non-oil revenue stood at $7.7 billion, a 2.2% year-on-year rise. U.S. envoy Amos Hochstein, who oversaw the maritime border deal between Lebanon and Israel, says it's now time to delineate their land border also. Last October, he brokered the maritime accord between Israel and Lebanon. The deal paved the way for both countries to exploit offshore gas reserves. Hochstein says he's been listening to the views of the Lebanese government to understand what's needed to delineate their land border. He called on Lebanon to elect a new president to implement reforms that could open the way for international aid. Two members of the Kardashian-Jenner clan are reportedly in talks to buy back the stakes of their beauty brands they sold to Coty in 2020. Kylie Cosmetics sold for $600 million and Skin by Kim sold for $200 million. Kylie Jenner's sale to Coty valued her business at $1.2 billion, but further investigation by Forbes showed the business was much smaller and less profitable than she claimed. And former President Trump's election interference trial in Georgia will be broadcast live on the court's YouTube channel. The live stream marks the latest factor that could make the case a public spectacle unlike any of Trump's 3 other criminal cases. All hearings and trials for Trump and his 18 co-defendants will be live streamed on YouTube, in addition to coverage by media who are granted access to the courtroom. During Trump's other criminal cases in Manhattan, Washington, and Florida, cameras weren't allowed into the courtroom. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.